I have no intro for this video. So, this story takes place in the Philippines last year. This was a trip for family matters. It started off on a hot morning. I woke up and immediately just pulled up YouTube to watch random stuff while I waited for my family to get back with breakfast, which is how most of my mornings were spent there. Today was a special day as we were going to Akarayan, which is just river in English, for a family tradition on my mom's side. Although I did bring one of my cousins from my dad's side for the thing. It was a tradition that was done by my mom and aunts anyway, so we were mostly just there for food and having a good time. So, we arrive and immediately I'm told to watch my steps so I don't go stumbling down the steep hill and fall into the running waters and drown. That, and we also wouldn't want the food and supplies to get wasted now, would we? I helped to carry some baggage down, and I'm the type of person who doesn't like watching people do work for something that I'm a part of. So, even after I brought down my stuff, like the baggage I was assigned, I went back and kept on asking if I can help with the other stuff. Thankfully, they did give me some stuff to carry, although the amount of times they told me to be careful was getting annoying, but it was not unwarranted. We were crossing this thin and really creaky bamboo bridge. I almost slipped multiple times while crossing it. Anyways, on to the meat of the story. We finally arrive, we settle down, and have a good time. We were sat at this small bamboo-looking hut on what I think was gravel. Music was playing, good food was being served, drinks on those really flimsy translucent plastic cups, the classic chismis between the adults, the burning sun shining down on us. It was a classic Filipino family gathering. Since we were sat by a river, the kids immediately wanted to go swimming. Obviously, they were sat at the far less deep side of the river. It was just rocks and running water, which they somehow made a water slide on. I don't know how that... It was really uncomfortable when I tried it. My mom came out and took pictures as all parents do. And yeah, I'm starting to get off track here. My bad. Me and my cousin decided we were big boys now and tried to go into the deeper side of the river. The current was strong. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm short and skinny, but my cousin isn't. He's actually a year younger, he's bigger and buffer than me, and even he said the current was strong. We mostly stood below the bridge we were walking on earlier to bring down baggages of food and such. We were even doing tricks on said bridge. My cousin taught me a cool trick where I could just hang suspended in the air below the bridge with nothing but the top of my feet holding onto the bridge, and it was pretty fun. We just hang on to the bridge and let the water pull our legs behind us and feel the water just pass us by. Eventually, as the responsible adults that we were, we decided to do something stupid. So, we'd let the current of the water carry us down to another bridge that we just hang on, then get back up, walk back, and do it again. Although we were scolded by the locals multiple times, but again, being responsible adults, we ignored them. So after like 2 or 3 goes, this last one we did was the dumbest idea we had yet. The way we quote-unquote slide down the river, we just let the water carry us to the next bridge, right? Well, that was also with the support of gravel and rocks beneath us, specifically since I'm not a good swimmer, so I relied on that to keep my balance and not fall into the river, right? Well, this time we decided to challenge ourselves. My cousin would go into the deeper side of the river since he could obviously swim and, well, handle it. I, on the other hand, decided to lay on my back and simply let the water carry me to the next bridge. I used my hands to navigate across the gravel below me. It was going great for like 3/4 of the way down. Yeah, that's when my heart dropped. Now I'm able to keep my calm during stressful situations, and I remembered from my old swimming teacher that I have to stay calm and pull myself back up to float. I don't think that's what he told me specifically, but I remember staying calm is key when it comes to floating on water, alright? Now, that would be helpful advice when we're in a pool, right? Unfortunately, we were not in a pool. We were in a river with water running at like 90 miles an hour. So when I realized staying calm and trying to float wasn't gonna save me, I panicked. I flailed like a maniac trying to keep my head above the water. My cousin was already at the bridge, thankfully, and he said that when he saw me flailing around the water like a maniac, he panicked on as well. Thankfully, he kept his composure and somehow caught me. He caught me in between his legs and tried to pull us back up. He tried to drag me against the water to reach one of the pillars. I knew the pillars were behind me at that point, but I was blind. You know, because my head was going above and below and above and below the water over and over and over. I couldn't see anything. So I just tried to reach my hand out as far as I possibly could. My cousin came up with a great split-second idea to try and throw me with his legs. Like one powerful swing with his legs to send me at one of the bridge's pillars. I tried my best to reach, I really did, but that idea didn't really work out. Now, it was after that first attempt of saving my life that my cousin started to lose his composure, he told me. So after like 5 seconds of repositioning himself, with all his fudging might, he somehow, with one arm mind you, pulled himself and me back by a bit, coordinating his legs to like swing the other way towards the pillar once again, and bam! My hand reached the pillar. I don't know if I really did a good job at explaining it, so I hope when I'm animating it I do better. Yeah. But yeah, after that, I don't think I've hugged anything harder in my entire life than that pillar. Like, as soon as I reached it, I practically latched onto it like a face hugger. We took a second to catch our breaths, got scolded by the workers once again who didn't notice any of that happening, and immediately walked back out of there. We were breathing harder than like, I don't know, like, we were breathing harder than if we went to the gym for like 8 hours straight. There we go, yeah, sure, let's go with that hyperbole? Yeah. And then my cousin looked at me, I looked at him, and we just started laughing our butts off. We were talking about some ridiculous stuff like dad lore or how that was like a Mission Impossible moment. So, after that near-death experience, I decided not to tell any of my family about this, except for my brother, because we don't need a lecture about not doing risky stuff like that again. We get it. Us being in that situation once was good enough of a lesson, thank you. It's not something I'm ever going to actively seek out again. Like, I like my life, thank you very much. I know I sound like I'm exaggerating with the part about how close we were to dying that day, cause I'm making a bit of a joke about it, but my cousin told me that his hand almost slipped after that second attempt. He wasn't just holding onto the bridge by his hand anymore after the first attempt failed, it was by his fingers. And they were slipping. That's what I remember him telling me at least, but my memory isn't the best when it comes to remembering what other people tell me, so take that with a grain of salt. Actually, my memory's not good, like, in general. But yeah, to put it simply, he told me that if the second attempt failed, we actually would have been dragged down the river and be left at its mercy. Now, you may be wondering, where were the adults? Shouldn't they have been keeping an eye on us? That's the neat part. They did. They trusted us to be safe because they already had the other kids to look out for. I'm pretty sure they also saw us go down the thing multiple times and saw that we were fine, so I guess they eventually did just stop, like, looking at us or watching us, I guess. It was just that the last slide down screwed us over and nobody was watching. And also, it doesn't help that the whole thing happened within the span of like 2 minutes or so. After that, we stuck to staying on the bridge near our hut for the rest of the gathering, and that was also when we agreed not to say jack squat to our parents about anything that transpired in those few minutes. So yeah, the moral of the story is, make sure to keep watch of your thrill seeking, I guess. It's fun, but don't start doing stuff that has a higher chance of killing you than it being a fun memory. I'm pretty sure this is common sense, but I know there are some people who still need to hear it. I would also like to reiterate for the third time now, if you've been paying attention to the side notes I've been posting on screen, please, do not go doing dumb stuff like this, especially when there are locals literally telling you to stop. I'm not sure if they were locals or workers, but they looked like they were working on the bridge. There may not have been no swimming signs or fences closing off access to the bridge, but regardless, it was still very unsafe and disrespectful towards the people who were just looking out for you or minding their own business. Me and my cousin were just being dumb. Please be mindful and respectful of others. Alright? Alright. Okay, that's all I have to say. Bye.